All right, let's get it. This is Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there are having a fantastic day and night. Coming up on today's show, Melvin Gordon release. Could Howie Roseman look to bring him in? We'll dive into that. Darrell Henderson, another running back with the Los Angeles Rams, also let go today. Will the Birds add a running back? Because they've been looking at upgrading that spot in terms of depth all throughout the year. First, though, with this video, can we get to 36,000 subscribers? We are 27 people away. If you want coverage every single day on the Birds year-round, then lock us in and subscribe. A programming note as well. I'm going to be traveling back to the Philadelphia area to see my family for Thanksgiving. So no Eagles Now on Thursday. Plus, a lot of people probably wouldn't be watching because of that great Cowboys-Giants game, and they're going to be busy with their families. So we're going to be doing Eagles Now live on Wednesday. Same time, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Make sure you join us. It is always going to be a party. So we now begin with Melvin Gordon. Cut by the Denver Broncos on Monday. They cut him after his 5th fumble in Week 11. And this is a player who continues to have awful ball security. That was the case with the Chargers. It's been the case with the Denver Broncos. He is talented, but he puts the pill on the carpet way too often. Ian Rappaport broke the news that the Broncos, following Sunday's loss, Wade veteran running back Melvin Gordon, a respected player who spent 3 years with the Broncos. Gordon's fumbles proved to be too much, a fresh start for all parties. And this is the frustrating thing about Melvin Gordon. I still think he can play. This is a talented running back, but the ball security is a problem. And we saw against the Washington Commanders that when the Eagles turn it over 4 times, that cost them the football game. They cannot afford to have that type of player cost them a football game at a backup spot, which could determine a playoff seeding and maybe something in this NFC East divisional race. And the thought here with talking about running backs is that the Eagles have looked at adding a running back all throughout the year. They're content with Miles Sanders being the number 1 running back. But Howie Roseman was reportedly in on Kareem Hunt. He made an offer for Christian McCaffrey. They've wanted to upgrade the depth spot at running back, and that's why we're having this conversation, because they've looked at doing that all throughout the year. Going back to Gordon, the fumbles drive me insane because there's the good with the player when he picks up about 5 yards per pop, but then he coughs it up in inopportune situations, which really do cost you wins at the end of the day. Because in the NFL, when you lose a turnover battle, you win 80% of your games. And suddenly, Philadelphia has problems with ball security. After they entered that Washington game, plus 15 in turnover differential, they turned it over 4 times against Washington, 2 more times against the Colts. With this running back room right now, I think Miles Sanders is having one of the best seasons of his career. 156 carries, 757 yards, 6 touchdowns. He is on pace to break that 1,000-yard threshold, which really is elite for any running back these days, considering how much the ball is thrown. The problem here with the Birds running backs, it's the backups. Kenny Gainwell, good pass-catching option. A little bit slight, though. Boston Scott helped lead the way on that Jalen Hurts go-ahead touchdown run late in the game. I like him as a returner. I like him as an occasional running back. This guy plays great football in November and December, so maybe he starts to turn it around, but their production has been somewhat minuscule up to this point. As for what Gordon has done this year, the problem, fumbles, 5. 90 carries, though, 318 yards with 2 touchdowns. He's been a pretty good running back throughout his career. So if you ask me, I do not think that Melvin Gordon is going to come to Philadelphia. I don't think he's a fit. Sanders is the starter, and Gordon probably wants to go somewhere where he can get more significant production and carries. And frankly, I think the Eagles have gotten too pass-happy, and they've gone away from Miles Sanders over the last 2 games, and I think that's one of the problems with this offense right now. With Jalen Hurts making that sizable leap as a passer, they put a lot on his plate to throw the football. I think they need to get back to what they were doing earlier in the year, being a little bit more complimentary, dive into the tape from last year when they became a run-heavy team, and give Miles Sanders the ball a little bit more, especially early in games, and then you lean on him late to pick up those crucial yards to milk the clock. So we're about to talk about Darrell Henderson Jr. because he too let go by the Rams. That transaction taking place on Tuesday just moments ago. If you had to pick a running back between these two, who would you go with? Melvin Gordon, the green hair would fit in Philadelphia. Darrell Henderson, DH. Let me know right now in the comment section. Philadelphia Eagles Now is also presented and sponsored by ButcherBox, a brand new sponsor here at Chat Sports. We really appreciate them for all that they do in supporting the show. And ButcherBox is offering a great deal this Black Friday. Our listeners and viewers of Philadelphia Eagles Now, they're offering you one of their best steak deals. Get 2 10-ounce ribeyes free in every box for an entire year when you join, plus an additional 10% off if you sign up today at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and use the code NFL Daily. That's free ribeyes, Bird Gang, for a year, plus $10 off at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily with that code NFL Daily. They take the guesswork out of finding high-quality meat and seafood that you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood, humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones. Just get what you want. Also delivered right to your doorstep. Free shipping for the continental United States with no garbage surprise fees. Choose from a variety of box plan options from curated to customized and change your plan whenever you want. Exclusive member deals are also at stake as well. For me, my running streak is approaching 200 straight days. I recently completed 100 push-ups per day for 100 days. I've had to fuel up with some really quality food. I take what I eat very seriously. I don't want any of that crap injected into my meats like Jose Canseco, and that's why I love ButcherBox, because they offer high-quality meats. All right, let's round out today's show with talking about Darrell Henderson Jr. let go by the Los Angeles Rams. It was him and not Cam Akers who got let go in the backfield for Los Angeles. And it doesn't seem as though, even though Darrell Henderson Jr., the Memphis product, won a Super Bowl with the Rams last year, that he's going to miss playing with the Los Angeles Rams. He tweeted this right after the news was made official that he got let go. Sunglasses emoji, and he's like, hallelujah, I no longer have to play for what has been the worst rushing offense in the NFL, and for a Rams team that has not been good this year. They're no doubt having that Super Bowl hangover with the disastrous offensive line. More on Henderson in case you don't know about him. I liked him coming out of Memphis. He was physical. He's shorter, but still thicker. 25 years old, so still somewhat young. A third-round pick out of Memphis back in 2019. And this year, I don't know what to make out of him or Cam Akers, knowing that offense has been terrible. The offensive line can't block, and they have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. This year, 70 carries, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. Average yards per carry is pretty solid at 4, and that's saying something because that offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL. Hit by injuries and the retirement of Andrew Whitworth. His career stats, I remember I picked him up in my fantasy league a couple of years ago when I actually still played fantasy. I no longer do, and I know nobody cares about anybody's fantasy league, but I was like, oh, this guy could be a sneaky cat. He wasn't. Didn't really play much as a rookie. Last couple of years, though, he's been okay. 396 carries, nearly 2,000 yards throughout his career, 13 touchdowns, average yards per carry. Again, pretty solid at 4.4. And with this Eagles offense, they have a really good offensive line. I'm not going to call them great right now because I don't believe that this Eagles offense is playing great football right now. But they are a dream offensive line to work with if you are a running back, because sometimes you see how the seas depart, you eye that hole, and you're able to pick up 10, 15 yards before even being touched. And the complementary aspect of what the Eagles have been doing on the offensive side of the football is also notable for some of these prospective running backs who are now free agents. And with Howie Roseman, you can never rule anything out, right? He's always looking to improve his football team. And right now, I have put my trust in Howie Roseman to build this roster. A couple of years ago, we wouldn't have said that. Howie Roseman couldn't identify, scout, or develop talent. He's actually done a pretty good job of that the last couple of years, and he's made up for it. He's always been savvy with the books financially, but he's starting to get a little bit of a better eye for talent. And Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, they're signed on Wednesday, Thursday. They hadn't played football going back to last year, and they have an immediate impact like that against the Indianapolis Colts. Again, Miles Sanders will be your starting tailback, as he should be. As for the backups, That's where the Eagles might have some concerns, and we're talking about Trey Sermon not even playing at all outside of a couple of carries early on this year against the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, if you made it this far and you're rocked with us and you're subscribed, Real One Roll Call. We appreciate all of you for being real ones and supporting the show and everything that we're doing. Make sure you subscribe so that we get that sub number. And if you want to interact with me on social media, please feel free. Grew up in the Philadelphia area. Westchester, went to Temple University. Love all the Philly squad. So if you want to chop it up, even talk about life, let's do it. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior.